Namaste, dear friends and seekers in the divine. Today's topic for discussion and sharing is yoga of the purified mind and absolute happiness. What is the meaning of yoga of purified mind? And why is the mind required to be purified? Sage Raman Maharshi gave a wonderful tool to remove that concept of notion of I, the ego. Because all theories, all religions, all spirituality ultimately boils down to only one and one thing, and that is the essence, the quintessence of spirituality and finding out who I am. And that is the eradication, the dissolving of this ego, which is the notion of I. Sage Raman Maharshi said, plunge, dive down into the heart with a purified mind. When that is done, all the work is over because the concept of the I is dissolved. Then you remain as that pure awareness, ever existing. The question then arises, how does one attain this purified mind? How does one purify the mind? Because the mind is full of concepts. The mind is an accumulation of thoughts. The I am so and so, I am this and that, and the various personalities surrounding the I. So there are tools, methods that have been advocated, practical tips on how to purify the mind. A great saint and sage in the 20th century was Swami Shivananda of the Divine Life Society. And he placed before all seekers and aspirants this wonderful, easy theory called the yoga of synthesis, which integrates all the aspects of the application of how to attain yoga. The word yoga means union. Union with what? Union with the source, from where this current concept of I is there. Because you already are that. It's just, actually there is no even union, because you already are that from what you are seeking. But to attain that purification of the mind, there are various methods advocated. And Swami Shivananda, in his yoga of synthesis, said, small and precise nuggets of wisdom. He said, serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, inquire, who am I? Know thyself and be free. Plenty of small nuggets of wisdom, but depending on the propensity of one's individual's mind, one can choose what any of these various methods advocated, or do it simultaneously. Really doesn't matter. As long as it helps to purify the mind, make the mind less agitated, we can use any tool. So serve is service. It's off the back of the concept of karma yoga, yoga of action. So one serves selflessly, giving unto others. When that service is done without the concept of the ego, that service leads to inaction. It's that action leads to inaction. Because there is no ego there. The action is done, but there is no accumulation of any karma. It does not lead to any cause and effect. As they say, when the action is done as service selflessly, even the left hand should not know what the right hand is giving. It's only a way of putting it. But that is how it should be, where there is no ego at all. That's serve. Then the concept of love. The tool of love is the love which is cosmic love, bhakti yoga. And love for all of creation, love of that cosmic being. And then when that, depending on the propensity as said earlier of the mind, if a person is very, very emotional and oriented towards an emotional aspect of his being, bhakti yoga, love is a very strong tool to use. Along with action, one can do it. So when that selfless love is there, then the I too drops away. The little ego I drops away. Serve, love, give, purify. So when this is done selflessly, purification takes place. Then you meditate. So when the meditation takes place, when you talk about meditation, you are talking about concentration. The mind has to be concentrated. So it is not dissipated. At the moment when an individual is involved in the material world, the mind is dissipated into hundreds of different things. The focus has to be brought back through concentration. And when that concentration becomes deeper and deeper and deeper, it culminates in meditation. And then one realizes one's true nature and wants to try and realize the higher values of life. Wisdom dawns. And due to the purification of the mind, and when it becomes one-pointed, inquiry automatically happens. Circumstances present themselves to that individual wherein the mind is drawn inwards automatically to inquire, who am I? Inquire, who am I? Know thyself. To know, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? So the inquiry proceeds deeper and deeper into the very source. Inquire, who am I? Know thyself and be free. And that's where sage Raman Maharshi's nugget of wisdom helps, where he says, plunge, dive deep into the heart, from where, with a purified mind, from where that I arose, concept of I arose. Then one is free, because one is already free. One only creates a concept that one is bound. It is like a three-sided room with a fourth side open. And one is facing the wall and thinking, looking left and right and seeing that there is no escape. The walls are only there, ephemeral appearances. When he turns back and goes back to his source, he's free. He's not bound at all. So, Swami Shivananda's teachings lead to ultimately serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, inquire, who am I, know thyself, and be free. That leads and reveals one's true nature as pure awareness, cosmic consciousness, and one abides in the self, which is Sat Chit Ananda, absolute existence, absolute consciousness, and absolute bliss. Consciousness which is in motion, consciousness which is in motion is pure Ananda. Consciousness which is motionless is being, pure existence. Raman Maharshi has said, do not look at this, do not look at that. Just be. And by that powerful look at being itself, when one powerfully looks at one's being itself and dives down deep, the concept of I vanishes, is vanquished. What is this thought, I, that creates all this? The thought I is only a reflected ray of pure awareness, compartmentalized as this body-mind through the accumulation of matter and energy. The elements and consciousness. The assemblage causes the I. It's only a notion. One has to transcend that, because one's true nature is pure awareness. When one goes into this very concept with a focused mind, with a tremendous amount of aspiration, wanting to find out one's true nature, and that happens only when there is a purified mind. That's why all these concepts and these tools have been recommended. Once that purified mind has been achieved, automatically the inquiry happens. One does not even have to attempt to do it. Automatically one goes in and tries to reach that source. And when the diving and the plunging happens into that source, you go along the thread of that I, inquiring, who am I? Where from does this I arise? And you dive deeper and deeper and deeper through the thread of that I, reaching the source. That length of that little I reduces, and then just disappears. That nothingness is everything. All there is that. Pure awareness, cosmic consciousness, absolute happiness is your true nature. Not this accumulation of flesh and blood. You are way beyond that. You are that Parabrahma Tattva, that principle of absolute, pure happiness. Please remember that. And use whatever tools, whatever concepts there are to grow and to grow beyond concepts. Once that is done, the purified mind automatically leads to your and reveals what you truly are, which is absolute happiness. May that aspiration, may that wanting become deeper and deeper in each seeker and aspirant. To reveal what you truly are. Sat Chit Ananda. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.